Brent McGee Quilts here, and the thing that quilters hate it when you say is, you could sell that. Now, it's a compliment, and it comes from really nice people, well-meaning people who are trying to tell you that your work is so good that you could sell that for money, because money is what makes something have any value. But what they don't understand, and this is why it irks us quilters, is that the price that we're probably gonna put on our work to sell it would make people's heads spin. They would not understand why we're wanting thousands of dollars for our quilts. And this is probably why I'll never sell my quilts, especially not these involved art pieces that I like to make. Because it isn't just about the materials. The materials for a quilt, depending on size, can go anywhere from a couple of $100s to a few $100s. $400 or $500 just for materials. And already people are like, well, I can get a blanket at a store for that amount of money, in which I want to say, well, go ahead and go to the store and get the type of blanket that you think you want. But if you're looking to have something made for you by hand that has been designed, cut, sewn, especially for you, you should expect some higher prices. Thousands of dollars is what you should expect. And that comes from the labor that goes into the quilt. So this quilt that I'm working on here now, I've been working on for a year and a half. There will have been 100, going on 1,000 hours of work to put this quilt together, because it's all hand appliqued and all hand quilted. So if somebody wanted to buy this piece of art, they would be paying thousands of dollars. So when someone says to me, you could sell that, my instinct is to roll my eyes. I don't. I take the compliment for what it is, someone saying that my work has value. But inside I'm rolling my eyes, because I know that if I gave them the price, they wouldn't understand why it was so expensive. So this is for all of you quilters out there who have ever been told you could sell that, and you thought to yourself, actually, no, I couldn't. The other aspect to this is that just because you could sell something doesn't mean you want to. After you've spent hours and hours and hours, days, months, maybe sometimes years working on a piece, the last thing you want to do is hand it over to someone who may or may not understand really the implications. Someone who might, really abuse the piece in their care. They won't understand how to take care of it, or that it is a precious art object. And so I don't know about you, but I get very, very attached to my pieces. And every time I have given a quilt to someone else, I'm very worried about that quilt, because hoping that it's going to be okay, that it will survive someone else's clutches. So those are the two things. Our work is we spend so much time to make these pieces that it would be too costly for anyone to really want to buy it. And two, they're so precious to us that why would we? This is why so many quilts are gifted to people rather than sold to people. Because when a quilter puts together a quilt, it's for the love of the game, as it were. It's usually not out of obligation. We're making something for someone that we love. Or we're making an object to hang on a wall because we want to see that object come to life. We want to see that image come to life. So for the quilter, the intrinsic value of the quilt itself is in the making of the quilt and the satisfaction that comes from seeing the finished product come to life. So the next time, if you're not a quilter and you want to compliment a quilter by saying something like, wow, you could sell that, maybe think of something else to say. Maybe a compliment could be more about the design choices the quilter made, or maybe you want to ask them, wow, how much time did you spend making this? Or what techniques did you use? I love the way you've done this, as opposed to immediately going to money, which at this point, if what you're seeing is dollar signs when you look at a quilt, I don't know how to help.